United 0, Liverpool 0. There's no other way, to start this video. There was no passion, there was no aggression, there was no vision, there was no sexual tension. What is left? What fucking nonsense? Geezer, there's no other way to start, bruv. Jokes aside though, jokes aside, I ain't gonna cover up any more cracks. Liverpool are whack right now. I'm tired of hearing Liverpool fans just trying to cover over the cracks, defending him, saying, oh, we're still top of the league. If you asked me at the beginning of the season, would you take Liverpool being top of the league by 1 point clear? Finish the fucking sentence. The sentence is, would you take being top of the league by 1 point but playing shit? Would you take that, bruv? And going into the end of the season? No, I wouldn't. And all these people comparing Hazard, Salah, there's no comparison, bruv. There's no comparison. I watched Hazard in that final. He's levels. What he does with the ball, the way he passes, not just goal scoring, attacking, his decision making, 100 times better than Salah. I'm not just saying because I'm pissed, but there's no comparison. So this is what I'm saying. The Liverpool fans, our own fans, are pissing me off. Because Liverpool should have taken that game. After all those injuries, even the team selection, when they first started, I was thinking, they ain't got Matic, we should do them. And then all the injuries happened, we still couldn't do them. And we didn't crave any chances. So for me, I'm sorry, but that was shit from Liverpool. And that is not demonstrating to me that they're good enough to win this league. So, you tell me. I'm vexed, bruv.
Well, I mean...
I'm sorry, bro. I'm not just acting, bro. That's how I feel. You saying that you thought Liverpool played actually alright. I think that's what you said, right?
Well, just context, isn't it? I said first half, I thought we controlled possession. I thought we dominated the game in the first half. But my biggest problem is that there's no point dominating the ball. And I've said it before, even against Man City when we got beat, we dominated the ball. Possession stats suggest we dominated the ball, but in our own half. So it doesn't mean anything. The one thing that gets me is that if you have any aspirations of winning a title, and you've got any aspirations of winning the league or whatever, you've got to go to Old Trafford and win. Yeah, you've got to. That's what you've got to do. Because Old Trafford's a tough place to go and play football, and you've got to go there and win. We did not look like yesterday. We did not look like, in the game against Manchester United, we did not look like scoring a goal. I'm sorry, we did not look like threatening to score a goal. Half chances, man's off the get. Because there was nothing happening. There was nothing. I actually, whilst watching that game, I said, this game stinks. And I was talking to a good friend of mine. This game stinks of a 1-0 Man United. That's what it stinks of a 1-0 Manchester United, yeah? But that was when Manchester United were looking to win the league. They'll know how to manage a game. Liverpool didn't look like they knew how to manage the game. I don't think... The front three, listen, I know everyone's getting on to Mane's back because his quality was shite. And it was not good. Quality is not good. But the one thing I would never doubt that guy for is the work rate. The continuing efforts to want to do something, to want to throw himself into headers and tackles and stuff. Salah, for me, listen, you hit the nail on the head. Don't you dare compare him. Don't you dare, compare him to people like Hazard. I remember people saying, oh, yeah, Ballon d'Or, Messi's. Last season, Messi's, Ronaldo. No. No. Because you got to be real. You got to do it over a period of time, and you got to prove that you are big games. I think I saw a statistic to say that he ain't scored against none of the top 4 or top 6 this season. He hasn't scored against any of them. He didn't score against any of the Champions League sides. So I'm not saying he's rubbish, and I don't want to lose the guy. Don't get me wrong. But what I'm saying is let's just put a sense of realism on what we're doing. We've severely overpunched this season, but outside of a starting 11, we ain't got shit. We ain't got a damn thing.
You touch on the Salah thing there, right? There was a time in the game, I think everyone probably remember it. Even though Luke Shaw had Salah in his back pocket throughout the whole game, there was one counter-attack where it was Salah versus Juan Mata running towards...
On one leg.
Right? So you tell me, if there's Messi in that situation, if there's Ronaldo in that situation, if there's Hazard in that situation, you're going to need to call the paramedics to come and collect Mata. You know it's going to...
Come pick up your boy.
Come pick up your boy. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be annihilation. And he just runs straight into Juan Mata, bro. That you don't want. That's a perfect scenario for Salah to be against. And he fucked up again.
But he was injured. At that point, he was injured, ready to go off. And he still managed to do something. Listen, all I'm saying is we put a lot of pressure on these... Liverpool put a lot of pressure on that starting 11. It shows that it's other teams. They all got the same analysis equipment. They got the same. They're people doing their jobs who will look at this and say, right, this is how we defend against it. There's nothing to add to that equation. From time Firmino went off and I saw Sturridge coming on, it's finished.
Game finished.
Game is finished, bro. Manchester United cigars were out because he's not going to run in behind. What's he going to do? Do it all in front of you? Yeah, not a problem. We'll crowd that area. We'll play in front of us. Not a problem. And the first thing he did when he came on. Come on now. Come on, people.
When he's getting stripped, I was thinking, what year are we in? We got Milner right back starting. Why is he starting in front of Trent? I know Trent had a bad game, but you don't put Milner on in this game. You know Man United have got gas. And do you really want Pogba or do you really want Rashford running up against Milner in any circumstance? No, you don't. So that for me, that selection, Klopp has to take some sort of blame here, surely. Because for me, that
blame is a strong word. There's responsibility. There's responsibility, but there's no blame. Listen, I'm not gonna feed into your analogy of if we'd offered you top of the league at this stage of the season, would you have taken it? Like you said, context is everything. Context is everything. If you had told let me just, for example, Wolverhampton Wanderers that you'll be 7th at this point at the beginning of the season, or wherever they are at this beginning of the season, would you? Oh yeah, I'll bite your hand off. But if Wolves are going to be honest with themselves, they should look at the way Manchester United and those other teams have been performing, and they realistically should turn around and be like, we should be probably in that cluster. So let's look in context. Liverpool have had a great season. If Manchester City weren't as good as they are, then this would be an unbelievable season. But the fact of the matter is they are. So
exactly.
If you said to me, oh yeah, if I offer you this many points at this stage of the season, I'd say yes, of course I would, because I won't know what the realistic situation is, because Man City have been that good. So Liverpool, if you want to top that, you have to be better. And maybe what we're saying is unrealistic, so that's fine. So Liverpool shouldn't win the league then. If we're going to be realistic, then Liverpool shouldn't win the league, because Man City are looking hella fire. Every game, fire.
Just imagine if Manchester City were in the same situation with all those injuries coming off. Man City would have put that game to bed. I lie? There's no other way. The one thing that triggered me about you, though, you said that you were disappointed with Manchester United. Like you came back from the game and said that, you know what, you was really shocked the way Man United played. But for me, I'm sorry, but Man United, from all the injuries that they got in the first half and all the players that came off, they got Rashford on literally 40%, and they carved out probably the best chance of the whole game. So for me, I thought United did the best they could do. They were the better team in that game for me.
Do you know what? The reason, again, going to deeper into my point, from Manchester United's perspective, is that I believe that Liverpool were there for the taking at that point, because Liverpool had run out of ideas. I believe Liverpool had run out of ideas. Paul Pogba, I just don't understand. The guy's he's been central for everything good that Manchester United have done since OG has taken over. Yeah, OG. But since he's taken over, he's been pivotal to everything good that Manchester United have done. So for me, I don't know whether they were going to target Milner or they were doubling up on Salah. But why was Paul Pogba not here in the middle of that pitch?
That's a fair point.
That's my point. Yeah. Because as far as I'm concerned, Rashford was still causing problems, even at 40%. He still looked a threat, and that says a lot about the guys. The guys' work rate and quality. You've got Sanchez on the pitch now. You've got Lukaku on the pitch. So those guys should be, for what you've paid for them, they should be getting you a few goals or looking to unlock the door. Paul Pogba's your guy. He has been your guy. If you're going to score, he's either going to score it, he's going to set it up. So for me, to have him out kind of on the left-hand side, tracking those runs, there's one time when Milner knocked the ball past him and ran past him. And I was like, he shouldn't be there. So I know Manchester United fans will argue, say, well, we had injuries, but he was there from pretty much the get-go. So that's the only thing. That's the reason I say I'm disappointed, because for Manchester United, they win that game, they will pretty much leap right into that top four.
And they've fallen out of fourth now. Yeah.
Exactly, they would have leapt right into that top four, and they would have completely derailed Liverpool's title chances. They lost, they're neither here nor there. So I kind of half expected them to just really have a go. Especially with 10 minutes to go. Because do you know what I mean about the typical Fergie sides? I know this isn't a Fergie side, but Liverpool playing against Manchester United at Old Trafford, you always smell a 1-0 in the last 10 minutes, because that's what they can do. But that's just probably, I don't know, maybe that's me being overcritical, but that's just what I felt. I just felt that they could have done more.
I don't want to go too much into this topic because we talk about it all the time in most videos this season. The lack of creativity in midfield, right? Gini had a great game, Firmino had a great game, Henderson played well, but the creativity is terrible. The point that I do want to touch on is Jordan Henderson. How dare you? How dare you, bro? What the fuck are you doing? Klopp is holding his hand out and you walk past him. The way Klopp handled that situation, bruv, that's what Sarri should have done.
All I'm saying is, Kepa, you lucky, bro. You're lucky you're not under Klopp, bruv, because it would have been a backhand or satin.
Klopp just went, come here right now, bruv, and he buoyed him off. And Jordan Henderson looked like, you know, like one of them chicks when you like you par off the chick and then she comes back wanting attention. That's what he looked like. He goes, I'm sorry. Bruv, give the captaincy to VVD the Bunda and call it a day. I don't understand Henderson's reaction. Why did he do that?
It's passionate because he wants to win the game, and I get all that, and which is good. But
you're captain.
Yeah, but I guess
lead by example.
Yeah, but yeah. I got no excuse. There's no excuses as far as I'm concerned, because whether you're happy or unhappy or whatever, that's the gaffer. That's the decision that's been made. If you're not happy with it, you got to be a professional about the situation. As far as I'm concerned, that's how I've been brought up, and that's how I'm pretty sure certain men have been brought up. I just looked at that situation and thought Klopp deaded that situation on the spot, because if they let that fester, it can turn into something a bit more nasty, I'd feel. But yeah, but I think the positive to take out of it, I thought Wijnaldum is starting to really make it known what we've been saying for a long time, and a lot of Liverpool fans have been saying. I know there's percentages of people that don't agree, but the guy is levels. In that, you know, to find space in difficult situations.
Drops his shoulder.
Drop the shoulder, keep the ball. Yeah, okay, he could do with a bit more gas, but you know what I mean. We can't have it all. Fabinho starting to really prove why he was the guy that everyone talked about. It goes back to the point I made you months ago about. I'm not saying Henderson is like woeful and he should not be near the Liverpool side. Sometimes I know I get a bit gassed and I get a bit vexed with the guy, but if the opportunity presents itself to go and buy if I had to pick one, Isco, for example, an Isco who you know has the potential to unlock a defence. He might not have the best game for 80 minutes, but you know that he's got the ability to unlock a defence. One thing we don't have at the moment. That's why half of me was hoping that when Bobby went off, perfect time to chuck in Shaq and maybe rejig the system a little bit, but to have somebody in their pocket where Matic wasn't. Just have someone in there. Ask different questions.
Yeah, but then surely this is what I'm saying. Why isn't Klopp to blame for this? Why do people cover up the fact that Klopp isn't to blame? Because for me, when you haven't got Matic and you got McTominay, whatever his name is in there, yeah, put Naby Keita on. Put someone in the midfield who can run at them, because this is not the normal midfield. So this is what I'm saying, that people say don't blame Klopp, but for me, I do blame some of this Klopp here. Some of the subs were stupid. Like we said, what year are we if Sturridge is coming on? Why isn't Naby Keita coming on? I know he hasn't played amazingly, but their midfield is gone. That's not even their regular midfield. So
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think blame is I think it's a strong term. I just believe it's a strong term. I think it goes back to the point about for Klopp. The one thing that I would question is the mindset of a plan A, a plan B, a plan C. I don't see it. I think yesterday was a prime example. The game, you know, that game was a prime example to look at and say, okay, well that hasn't worked. Let's just change it up and let's see if we can go with this a little bit different. Okay, well let's go another one in midfield and have another person just really hovering in the 10 and stick Salah up top, because then that would have completely fucked up their dynamic of which they would have thought, right, okay, well we're trying to deal with. We're looking at Shaw and Pogba to deal with to Salah. So if you do that, change the sides, if you change your system, then it would encourage them to change theirs. But Liverpool tend to go with, like you say, that plan A and knock on the door consistently, and it will work. But we didn't even knock on the door. I didn't feel. I think if that's a boxing match, it's a draw. In every facet, it's just there's nothing. Man United did anything to win the game.
Yeah, I mean,
and Liverpool should have won that game. If you want to be champions, you should be winning that game. 1-0, 2-0, 2-1. Well, 1-0 for me. That should have been a 1-0.
I see that I'm from a slightly different mindset. I would have taken the draw from the beginning of the game, but it's the fashion you draw in. The way Liverpool played for me was horrible, and it doesn't set me with a lot of confidence. That's the difference.
But we signed up. How long have we signed up for now?
Yeah,
that's the
I know.
problem. And that's the problem for me.
But now it's where it matters. This is the worry.
Business sent.
I mean, Klopp summed it up perfectly. At the end of the game, went up to Solskjaer and said, "What a shit game." When they shook hands at the end of the game, that's what he said. And you could read his lips from there.
Yeah, but who's the person that can do something about it, Jurgen? You, my G.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, I mean, quickly wrap this up. I mean, who's your man of the match? I'm pretty sure it's gonna be the same.
Yeah, Genie.
Genie for me as well. VVD had a perfect game as well. Matip's
played well.
Really
really grown into that position.
Alisson, big boy save. I forgot to mention that as well. Alisson's save was mad. That is what you call 65 million in a nutshell, right there. So
yeah, that's what that money's for. And I think he's done that a couple of times this season. Most clean sheets or something like that in the Premier League to present, or for a Liverpool goalkeeper, I don't know. But whatever he's as goalkeepers go, he's nuts. Van Dijk is just mad. I think that those two in midfield are really grown into their positions in Wijnaldum and Fabinho. But there is opportunity there now to go and get yourself a worldie. But you know, I guess that's what they thought Keita would be. I don't know.
The games are coming thick and fast now. So Watford is on Wednesday, and then Everton, the big Merseyside, on Sunday. Until then, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe, and comment. Peace.